Since the earliest days of American trucking, enormous rigs have thundered down highways and across job sites, showing off their brute strength and staying power. While a handful of these machines turned into household names, plenty of equally impressive trucks stayed out of the spotlight, overlooked but no less remarkable. From legendary long-haul workhorses to rare one-off builds, here are 10 of the biggest American trucks you've probably never heard of.
Built between 1969 and 1987, the GMC Astro 95 was a well-regarded cab-over-engine truck made for long-distance freight hauling. It took over from the GMC Cracker Box and, up until 1980, was also badged and sold as the Chevrolet Titan. The Astro 95 earned a strong reputation for its rugged build and solid road performance, making it a go-to option for drivers of the era. Assembled by GM's Truck and Coach division in Pontiac, Michigan, it fell into the Class 8 category, the heaviest tier of commercial vehicles. A defining trait of the Astro 95 was its cab-over-engine layout, which kept the truck's overall length shorter while leaving more room for cargo, a real advantage when navigating tight city streets. The cab itself was built mostly from aluminum, with fiberglass reinforced plastic doors that kept it both tough and light. Inside, drivers had access to a roomy cabin, including sleeper configurations for long trips. Diesel power came from several sources over the years, most notably the Detroit Diesel 6V92 TTA, a turbocharged two-stroke six-cylinder engine displacing 552 cubic inches and putting out 290 horsepower at 1900 RPM, plenty for heavy freight work. Buyers could choose manual or automatic transmissions depending on preference. GM also put the Astro 95 through wind tunnel testing back in the 1960s to sharpen its fuel economy. A 1976 add-on called the drag foiler cut aerodynamic drag by roughly 34%, effectively handing drivers a free 34 extra horsepower's worth of efficiency. As cab-over designs eventually fell out of favor in the US, the Astro 95 was phased out.
Launched in 1967, the Peterbilt 359 quickly won over both working truckers and collectors, staying in production for a full 2 decades until 1987. Its final model year brought the 359 Classic, a limited-run send-off for the model. The truck stood out for its long hood, which made room for bigger engines and gave it an unmistakably commanding look. Built with an all-aluminum body, the 359 was lighter and more fuel-efficient than many rivals. It also offered a roomy sleeper cab, air-ride suspension, and power steering for a more comfortable driving experience. One of its most iconic touches was the bird-shaped hood ornament, which became closely tied to the Peterbilt name. Engine choices included the Caterpillar 3406B, a 14.6-liter unit capable of up to 425 horsepower, giving the 359 the muscle to move heavy loads across long distances. Transmission options included the Eaton Fuller 13-speed manual, giving drivers flexibility for different hauling conditions. Beyond its work on the highway, the Peterbilt 359 became something of a cultural fixture, showing up repeatedly in film and television and cementing its legendary reputation. It built a devoted fan base that valued its rugged, classic design, even with a stiff ride and occasional electrical quirks.
The Lodestar line debuted in 1962 and ran until 1978, built by International Harvester, a manufacturer known for producing tough, dependable trucks. In 1978, it gave way to the S-Series, which folded the Lodestar and Fleetstar lineups into a single family. The Lodestar was prized for its sturdy build and adaptability, offered in a range of configurations, 4x2, 4x4, 6x4, and 6x6, and even available with a 4-door crew cab, a fairly modern touch for the period. Earlier models featured a distinctive gray grille, curved fenders, and a butterfly-style hood, while trucks built from 1972 onward switched to a squared-off one-piece tilting fiberglass hood. Powertrain choices spanned both gas and diesel. The gasoline engines came from the V304, V345, and V392 family, producing 193, 197, and 236 horsepower respectively, while diesel versions ranged from 113 to 200 horsepower. Transmission options were equally broad, including 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10-speed manuals, along with 4- and 6-speed automatics. The Lodestar's chassis also served as the foundation for fire apparatus and school buses, marketed as the Schoolmaster, and that versatility made it a favorite among specialized fleets, earning lasting respect from collectors and enthusiasts.
Introduced in 1987,
The Freightliner FLD held an important place in American trucking, thanks to its aerodynamic shape and dependable performance. It stayed in production into the early 2000s, with the FLD Classic variant lasting until 2010. The series marked Freightliner's move into aero-efficient long-haul trucks, aimed at boosting fuel economy and cutting operating costs, a major shift for the time. Models like the FLD 112 and FLD 120 took their names from the bumper-to-back-of-cab measurement in inches. Its sloped hood and flush-mounted headlights reduced drag, while an aluminum cab helped shave weight and improve mileage. Inside, the cabin was built with driver comfort in mind, featuring ergonomic controls and a sleeper option for long-distance routes. Engine choices included the Detroit Diesel Series 60, a 12.7-liter unit known for reliability and efficiency that could produce up to 470 horsepower, alongside options from Caterpillar and Cummins for varied hauling needs. The FLD was among the first trucks to bring aerodynamic engineering into the mainstream, laying the groundwork for later Freightliner models like the Century Class and Cascadia.
Debuting in 1961, the Kenworth W900 enjoyed a remarkably long production run, making it one of the longest-lived truck models in history. It saw several updates over the decades, including the W900A in 1965 and the W900B in 1982, yet it never lost its classic silhouette, remaining a favorite among long-haul drivers throughout. Its long hood not only gave the W900 a distinctive look, but also helped with engine cooling. The cab was designed for comfort, with generous headroom, legroom, and excellent visibility through a large windshield. The model also became a favorite canvas for customization, with owners frequently adding chrome accents, custom paint jobs, and extra lighting. Engine options came from top names like Caterpillar, Cummins, and Detroit Diesel, spanning anywhere from 180 up to a massive 625 horsepower. One standout was the PACCAR MX-13, delivering 510 horsepower and 1,850 pound-feet of torque, ideal for drivers needing serious pulling power. This wide range of engine options let buyers tailor their trucks to specific hauling demands. Interestingly, the W900 name honors Harry Worthington, one of Kenworth's founders, and the model remains a favorite for owners who like to make their trucks stand out.
The GMC General was designed to replace the earlier CM99 500 series and was built from 1977 to 1987, aimed squarely at competitors like the Ford LTL 9000 and International Harvester TranStar 4300. Assembly took place in Pontiac, Michigan, and buyers could choose from several configurations depending on their needs. One standout feature was its all-aluminum cab, built by Budd, which cut weight noticeably compared to steel cab rivals. Two hood lengths were offered, 108 and 116 inches, bumper to back of cab, along with several cab styles, including a day cab, a 34-inch sleeper, and, starting in 1985, a walk-in sleeper. The General built a strong reputation for durability and ease of upkeep, which made it popular with working drivers. Power came from diesel options, including the Detroit Diesel 671, rated around 238 horsepower, and the Caterpillar 3406, capable of up to 425 horsepower. That combination of a strong drivetrain and heavy-duty build made the General well-suited to demanding jobs across construction and logistics. Before 1980, it was also marketed as the Chevrolet Bison. Once GM pulled out of the heavy truck segment under the Chevrolet name, the model continued solely as the GMC General, holding on to its reputation for toughness and reliability.
Freightliner had introduced the cab-over layout back in the 1950s, but it really took off through the 60s and 70s. The 1967 model came out of that golden stretch, built to squeeze in as much cargo room as possible while staying within strict federal length limits. Because the cab-over design let operators run longer trailers within legal maximums, it became a favorite for long-haul work. The layout placed the driver's cab directly over the engine, shortening the truck's overall footprint, boosting cargo capacity, and improving maneuverability, especially handy in cities and cramped loading docks. Its flat-fronted design also gave drivers better forward visibility, a real plus in busy traffic. Diesel engines from Detroit Diesel and Cummins powered the 1967 cab-over, typically ranging from 7 to 14 liters in displacement and producing between 200 and 450 horsepower, more than enough for heavy freight over long distances. Though cab-over trucks eventually lost ground in North America as length regulations changed and conventional cabs took over, their influence on trucking history remained significant. The Mack Superliner was a well-known Class 8 truck that Mack developed starting in the early 70s, though full production didn't begin until 1977, continuing through 1993 in North America. Built primarily for highway and vocational work, it was both versatile and powerful. Its roots trace back to the Brockway Motor Company, once a Mack subsidiary that had actually competed directly against Mack in the heavy truck market. When Brockway shut down in 1977, Mack absorbed its development work and rolled out the Superliner that same year. The truck's conventional cab design featured a long hood that made room for a bigger radiator and engine. First-generation trucks carried 4 round headlights set in a rectangular arrangement, while the second generation, launched in 1985, switched to 4 square headlights. Engine choices included the 6-cylinder Mack E7 and the V8 Mack E9, the latter especially famous for its output, up to 500 horsepower, along with a distinctive engine note that made it a favorite among enthusiasts. The Superliner left a lasting mark on the industry, remembered for its toughness and staying power on the road.
Rolled out in 1980, the Chevrolet Kodiak was a medium-duty truck from General Motors' Chevrolet division, built to bridge the gap between the lighter CK pickups and the heavier Class 8 GMC Brigadier. It found regular use in cargo hauling, dump truck work, and other heavy-duty applications, and stayed in production all the way until 2009 across 3 generations. The first generation ran from 1980 to 1989 and was essentially built off the medium-duty CK platform. Assembly happened at multiple plants, including Pontiac, Michigan, and Bogotá, Colombia. One notable feature was its use of the Caterpillar 3208 V8 diesel, an engine borrowed from larger siblings like the Chevrolet Bruin and GMC Brigadier. Fitting that bigger engine meant raising the cab and repositioning the headlamps, giving the Kodiak a taller hood line than its lighter counterparts. Transmission choices ranged widely, from a 5-speed manual up to a 10-speed and even a 20-speed manual setup. That Caterpillar 3208 V8 displaced 636 cubic inches and was well regarded for its durability, delivering torque and horsepower suited to the truck's intended work. Beyond standard hauling duties, the Kodiak also served in specialized roles, as a base for fire trucks, ambulances, and even mobile command centers.
Introduced in 1966, the Mack R Series became one of the most celebrated heavy-duty trucks Mack ever built. Designed to succeed the Mack B Series, it quickly proved itself indispensable thanks to its toughness and flexibility, and it went on to have an astonishingly long production run, all the way to 2005, making it one of the longest-produced commercial trucks in history. Assembly took place at multiple sites, including Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Hayward, California, and the R Series became a mainstay in both long-haul freight and construction work. A signature feature was its forward-tilting fiberglass hood, which made engine and mechanical access far easier and set a new benchmark in the industry. The truck also offered an air ride cab for improved driver comfort and came equipped with an integral engine compression brake. Power came from Mack's own Thermodyne diesel engines, with the ENDT 675 standing out, an 11-liter unit capable of up to 300 horsepower, prized for its fuel efficiency and strong torque output, well suited to heavy-duty work. The R Series wasn't limited to the US either. It was also built in Australia and Iran, and its adaptability carried it into specialized roles as fire trucks, dump trucks, and even military vehicles, leaving a lasting mark on trucking history. These 10 giants of American trucking may never have become household names, but each one left its own mark on the industry. Which one surprised you the most? If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit that like button and drop a comment letting us know which of these classic rigs you'd love to see restored. And if you're into forgotten pieces of automotive history like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. We've got plenty more legendary trucks, cars, and machines coming your way.